Hello, no compromise conservatives. Speaking to you again. I know it's been a while. It's just the way things are going to be, just because of the jobs I have. What I wanted to do is talk about the attacks on conservatives from those on the left. And the reason this has come out again is because of the left's slanderous, libelous attack on Brett Kavanaugh once again. I'm sure you've all seen the stories, read the articles. A book is coming out, and the New York Times published an article about it, saying that a new woman has accused Kavanaugh of sexual assault, and the story goes that his friends pushed his private part into her hand. Now, what the New York Times didn't mention in the article is the fact that the woman doesn't remember this ever happening, that there is no actual witnesses to this happening, and that the person making the accusation is actually a close friend and donator of Hillary Clinton and the Clinton Foundations. And so we're seeing these attacks again. Now, the good news is, like the first time, the president is standing with Kavanaugh, but like the first time, the Democratic leadership and members are now demanding impeachment for Kavanaugh because he allegedly lied while giving testimony to Congress. Even though, from everything that has recently come out, none of it's true. So, to me, this is typical of the left, where when they know, or when they think they know the truth about something, they immediately go on the attack. Then when the truth comes out, the attacks stop, nothing happens. This has happened with the president. This has happened with Kavanaugh twice. This has happened with so many people on the president's staff, among his friends and family. When are we as conservatives going to stand up and say enough is enough? I mean, let's look at Congressman Nadler and his impeachment of the president. First, there was the whole Russia hoax fell apart. I mean, just totally fell apart. Now they're going after the emollients clause, where members of the military are staying at his hotel in Scotland, even though the agreement that was signed between the military and the hotel came out during the Obama administration, which meant that this was approved by the Obama administration. But that's irrelevant. Trump is violating the emollients clause because of because of this. Then when the Russia hoax fell apart and the emollients clause is going to fall apart, they are now going after, I can't even remember what the newest attack is, but there is one. And in that vein, they are trying to get the privileged aspects of the Mueller report, which are the grand jury testimonies and hearings, which by federal law are sealed, even from members of Congress. But they are demanding it in their investigation just because they have nothing else to go after. This whole thing is just amazing to me. Even under the Obama and when Clinton was getting hammered, the conservatives, while bad, were never this bad. The lies and the slander and just the vitriol was never like this. One of the people I listen to on YouTube claims that he remembers Obama being called a Nazi. And I remember Obama being called a lot of things. And I mean a lot of things. And I didn't agree with him then. But I don't ever remember Obama or anybody in his administration being called a Nazi. Neither was Bill Clinton or anybody in his administration. It was just amazing that now these lies and slanderous statements are coming out against conservatives. But let's get back to the Kavanaugh. I'm really hoping, and I mean really hoping, that Kavanaugh does decide to go after the reporters, the writers of the book, the New York Times, and sue. We know that the New York Times has now come out with a correction, essentially saying that, yeah, hey, guess what? This didn't happen like we originally reported it. There's the person that is reporting it is so-and-so, this type of thing. But I think a little too little and a little too late. It really is. Right now, conservatives are losing the war. And we aren't even winning the battles right now. And that's why I think it is time for conservatives to really start dealing with this in the legal system. By which I mean Kavanaugh needs to sue the New York Times, needs to sue the reporters, needs to sue the authors of the book if they had any of this stuff. Because there's some confusion over what is actually written in the book and what isn't. What is written, what isn't written. So if it is found that they did write this, then they need to be sued. And as a general rule, it just needs to be standard procedure. Conservatives, if something like this happens, you sue. You fight back in any way you can. Remember, that is one of our mottos. Never apologize. Fight back. Stay strong. It's hard to stay strong when you are constantly under attack. But we can fight back. There are lawyers, there are organizations that are willing to help conservatives and people with conservative leanings fight back. So let's start doing that. If you have a chance to donate to those organizations, do so. I would, unfortunately. I live and work in Houston, which means I make little or no money as far as a salary, and my bills are enormous because of just living in Houston. But if I had the money, I would definitely be making donations. That is something that we as conservatives need to do. That is part of the fight back. That is part of the stay strong. I know this is kind of disjointed just because of the lateness of the hour here in Houston. But I needed to get this out. I needed to get this said just because it's going to get worse, a lot worse as 2020 rolls around. This attack on Kavanaugh is an attempt to destroy his reputation. It is an attempt to silence him. and it is an attempt to destroy his judicial legacy. The attorney with Blasey Ford has even come out and said that was the whole point of her testifying, and her story was to destroy any legal writings that Kavanaugh has that go against the Roe versus Wade decision. And he has blatantly come out and said that. And now this same attorney is McCabe's attorney, as we wait to see if the Department of Justice is going to charge him with a crime. So remember that the left and the liberals are coming at us, and they are fighting to win the battles, and they are fighting to win the war, and that's what we need to do. Again, I am sorry for how disjointed this is. It bounces all over the place. I will try to come out with another one that maybe is a little more focused and a little more direct on all of these issues. Maybe even separate them out, just because there is just so much information coming out right now over all of this. Remember, conservatives, stay strong, fight back, don't apologize. Never apologize. That is not working, and conservatives are doing it. And now even leftists and liberals are finding out if you apologize, it does not stop the hate mob. So stay strong, fight back, don't apologize, conservatives. I will talk to you later. I'm guessing not a lot of people are going to like this one because it is so disjointed, but the ones that follow up on this, I'm hoping will get much better ratings. If you like it, if you don't like it, comment, subscribe, forward, and share this. Thank you very much.